What is the number of years that you invested your money for if you earn $450 in interest from depositing 2,500 is in a savings account that pays 4.5% compounded quarterly. So notice how it says compounded, but it doesn't say continuously. So we're going to use our compound interest. So now we can just start plugging in what we know. So we definitely know that our rate is 0.045. We know we're compounding quarterly, which means 4. And then it says you invested your money for, if you earn $450 of interest from depositing 2,500 in a savings account. So I know this is what I deposited. Now this 450 is not what I put here because that means that I lost money, right? Instead, you have to add that to the 2,500. So this would be 2,950 because that's what you earned in interest. At this point, we could start solving for t. We would divide by 2,500. And if we do that, we get 1.18. And then I'm going to simplify that other side. You would end up with 1.01125 to the 4t. At this point, I need to get the t out in front, and the way to do that is to log both sides. You're not going to ln because I don't have an e. I only use ln or natural log when you have an e. So at this point, I'm going to write it over here, a little backwards. So we have 4t log 1.01125. Now this next step, you can actually do in 2 steps, or you can do in 1. That is up to you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to divide by 4 and log 1.01125 at the same time. Now, when you do that, just be careful on how you type that into your calculator. Again, I would do pieces at a time. So if you do it correctly, you get 3.6987. And we're talking years here. You're welcome to just keep it as like 3.7, or you can round up or you can round down. Okay, in this case, it's pretty close to 4, so I'm going to say 4. Okay, again, I would take 3.7. I would even take 3. Number 8. A customer purchases a television set for $800 using a credit card. The interest is charged on any unpaid balance at a rate of 18% per year compounded monthly. If the customer makes no payments for 1 year, how much is owed at the end of the year? So again, we're talking compounded. So we're using our compound interest formula. And we can start plugging in. We start with 800. Our rate is 18%, so 0.18. Our N would be 12 because it's compounded monthly. And it is 1 year, so our time is 1. So then all you have to do is type this into your calculator. If you do that correctly, you would end up with $956.49. Number 9, 5 years ago, the grizzly bear population in a certain national park was 325. Today, it is 450. Obviously, it's increasing. The grizzly bear population has grown exponentially. What is the annual rate of growth in the population of grizzly bears? So we know 5 years. We also know that this is where we started, this is where we finish. So we could use the formula y equals a 1 plus r to the t. Okay, so it is talking about the rate, so we're solving for R. So we have 450 is where we ended up. We started at 325. And we have 1 plus R raised to the t, which would be 5, because 5 years ago. Then we just have to start solving for R. The way that we would do that is to divide by 325. And this gives me 1.3846, so on. Make sure that you keep that stored in your calculator for the next part. Because now I need to get rid of the fifth power. So we would be taking the fifth root of that number without rounding. And we get 1.067, yada, 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 equals 1 plus R. And we would subtract 1 to get R to be 0.067, and so on. Now again, I want to make this a decimal, so it would be, a percent, so 6.7%. You could round to 7, I would be okay with that. All right, our last two questions. It says 10 grams of carbon-14 is stored in a container, so 10 grams. The amount, C in grams, of carbon 14 present after T years can be modeled through this equation here. How much carbon-14 is present after 1,000 years? So we're going to take that 1,000 and we're going to plug it in right there. So this one's nice and simple. All we have to do is plug it into our calculator. So 0.99987 raised to the 1,000 times 10. And that would be 8.78. And this would be grams. Last one. A while ago, you deposited $700 in an account that has an interest rate of 1% compounded monthly. Now you have $820.40. Since you have not taken out any money in the account, how long has it been since you deposited the initial $700? So we're looking for T. Again, compounded monthly means we are using our compound interest. So we deposited 700. We end with 820.40. They tell me that my interest rate is 1%, so that's 0.01. Compounded monthly, which is 12. Now all we have to do is solve for T. So the first thing I would do is divide by 700. And we get 1.172. I'm going to also simplify the 0.01 divided by 12 plus 1. And that gives me 1.00083 repeating. So we are going to ln both sides, which drops down the 12. Not ln. We are going to log both sides. ln is only used when it's t. We have log of 1.172 equals 12 times t times log of 1.00083 repeating. And again, if we want to solve for this, we can divide by 12 log of 1.00083 repeating on both sides. All right, so if we do this, we would do log of 1.172 divided by log of 1.00083, and then also divided by 12. That gives me 15.87778, which is pretty darn close to 16 years.